with 4 heads and 4 wings. This kingdom was a Macedonian empire. The Macedonians were part Illyrian and part Greek. They migrated during the Great Dorian invasion. The Macedonians were hard fighting and hard drinking, much like their Illyrian and Thracian neighbors. The Macedonians, much like the Persians and the Babylonians, were multinational. They used the aspects of other cultures that were useful to them. First off, the Macedonians used the Thracian light infantry on their front line. They used the elephants from India and Africa. So why didn't the Macedonians freak out over the elephants when they saw in India?
Upon hearing Alexander the Great coming, Empress Candace, or Amanirenas, gathered her troops, lined them up across the first cataract along with herself, and stood on top of 2 African elephants on a throne and waited for Alexander to show up. Alexander the Great didn't want to chance a loss and give up his undefeated winning streak. He definitely didn't want to lose it to a woman, so once seeing the Black Queen on her elephants and her black armies along with her, Alexander the Great halted his armies at the first cataract, and turned back up into Egypt. Once he saw the deadly military tactician in all her glory and her army with the latest iron weapons, he decided against an invasion and turned around.
While in Scythia, the Macedonians used Scythian horse archers as part of their army. The Macedonians intermarried freely with all those around them. So the Greeks in the areas conquered by the Macedonians were only Greek in culture. After the first or second generation, they blend into the local population. When Alexander the Great died, he willed his empire to the strongest. His 4 generals took the empire. They fought until all 4 had sizable empires. Ptolemy took Egypt and Cilicia and southeast Anatolia. Castor had Greece. Lysimachus had Thrace and western Anatolia. And Seleucus had all the rest. Mesopotamia, Syria, and Persia, all the way to India. These are the 4 heads of the leopard and that beast. They were the leopard with the 4 heads of Daniel. In Daniel 8:3, Daniel saw a ram with 2 horns, just like a lopsided bear. One horn was bigger than the other. This ram with the lopsided horns represented Darius the Great. The ram ran ran west and north and south. No animal could stand against it. A goat appeared with a large horn. It was so fast that the goat didn't touch the ground when it ran. The wings on the leopard represents the speed of the Macedonians, which also mirrored the goat not touching the ground. The goat attacked the ram, knocking it to the ground, and it trampled it. At the height of its power, the horn was broken and was replaced with 4 prominent horns. So when Daniel saw the leopard, it was after one of the heads were replaced by the 4, and that's why he saw 4 heads. One horn grew and spread to the south and the east and to the beautiful land. The horn grew so big that it reached heaven. While the horn was there, they threw angels down and trampled them. The horn stopped the sacrifice and even threw the truth on the ground and trampled it. This small horn was Antiochus Epiphanes. The goat was, on the other hand, Alexander of Macedon. What about the leopard? The leopard has been the symbol of priesthood for a millennium. The leopard, just like the bear, is patient and persistent in achieving their goals. The leopard symbolized respect for others and also confidence and courage in the face of terrible odds. The Macedonians showed courage against insurmountable odds. At Gaugamela, the Macedonians were outnumbered 3-1. They were also faced horse archers and elephants in both Nubia and India. The leadership of the Macedonians always took over the religion of the areas they conquered. They embraced Hinduism in India. In Egypt, the Ptolemies became the pharaohs, and the Hebrews were persecuted because they wouldn't let the Macedonians in, because the Greeks at the time ate pork and they were not circumcised. The Hebrews wouldn't worship the Greek gods neither, so they just bumped heads altogether. Alexander the Great went to the Siwa oasis at the time to become acceptable to the Egyptian people as their leader. One of the names of Nimrod is the leopard seducer. He was the first to use leopards in hunting.
The swiftness of the leopard is proverbial in all countries where it is found. This, conjoined with its other qualities, suggested the idea in the East of partially training it, that it might be employed in hunting.